Thank you very much, and thank you, Sonia, for having me. And you just set the tone for the day. You're such a natural, and I'm the opposite of that. I try very hard to be. Uh, and I really like the way you went about with your story because so much learning without actually teaching. And so I completely forgot what I had to speak about. My father was with the Indian Army and Survey of India, and I traveled a lot with him. Have two sisters. Sisters are usually more intelligent than the boy, the sibling. So as I always say, I was the black sheep of the family. So I used to be always in the shadows, and growing up, I wanted to be. My aim was to be a truck driver, and yeah, I used to just watch them uh, drive endlessly, and eat at these wonderful dhabas. That part came true. One of my father's friends asked me, "So what do you want to become?" I said, "I want to start a business of my own." And I just said it. It just came out impromptu. And he says, "But your father's a serviceman. Neither are you a Patel or an Agarwal. So how would you, business is in your blood." So I thought to myself, oh, is it really? Anyways, years passed, and in the footsteps of my father, I went and gave the exam for the army. Anyways, I went there and I got rejected, and I came back, and so I was obviously very disappointed, sulking in a corner, again trying to be as invisible as possible. And I heard my mother tell my father in the other room that he's very upset. He's got rejected. And I heard my father tell her, "अरे अच्छा है, अभी रो रहा है, नहीं तो पूरी ज़िंदगी रोता, क्योंकि इसको ये करना ही नहीं था." And that really, kind of made my day. And I said, okay, I got a career again. In an MBA, you have core readings and you have supplementary readings. The supplementary readings or core readings might be 1 page or 300 pages. And there might be 300 supplementary readings, which meant if you have the time and the intent and someday just read it. And I started reading them. And I never knew that this will ever help. But years later, when I started working with people who cannot hear or speak, I started interacting with them. I realized they wanted to work. But then parents are very protective of their children. And if the child has a limitation, then even more so. So parents would not allow. So I went back. I learned sign language, spoke to the children. Lo and behold, we opened Mirchi and Mime, did really well. Madeira and Mime did really well. They were partners. Partners have differences. It didn't work out that well. Two of us moved out, opened Ishara. Ishara did fairly well, but God had other plans, pandemic. At the end of the pandemic, I had Ishara, no partners left, and a huge debt. And that's when I connected with Phoenix, with Atul Ruya, and it took him less than 5 seconds to come over and come on board. And today we have 9 Isharas across 5 cities in India. Yeah. So I went to this user X person, and he was telling me, he said, you make sure that the menu is easy and seamless, number one. I already knew that I didn't want to educate and tutor people. You don't go to a restaurant for that. So we made it like a matrix with a sign at the top, columns of dishes, and the number sign 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. So with 2 signs, you could order any dish. And I also wrote on top, if you do not want to use sign language, just merely point at the dish. We trained our team, trained them in life sciences, discipline, service, grooming, etc. And we were like you do, with so many people. Wonderful. So we did that, and we took it off. But what we were creating was a sense of intrinsic satisfaction. A sense of satisfaction that you've communicated with someone beyond the boundaries of conventional language. So as I usually say, you speak with your hands and you listen with your eyes. So, and I want to keep it simple. So it was, all I want to do is convert verbal language into visual. And as Ashwin just said, see, you first listen with your eyes. You enter a room, you feel with your eyes. You feel visualization is very, very impactful. So we did that. And if any one of you has not been to Ishara, please, I'll be glad. Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure. And you guys have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Mr. Issar, for such an inspiring, heart-centered perspective on what it truly means to lead with purpose and make a silent impact speak volumes. To formally express our gratitude, I would now request Ms. Sonia Dubey Diwan to please step up on stage to felicitate Mr. Issar with a small token of our appreciation.